Chapter 5 Questions and Answers Part 1. Quote, "The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in one decade than in previous centuries of its existence." End quote, by Nikola Tesla. In this book section, I will be sharing answers to questions from real people sharing their experiences. The questions involve their confusion about how to use the law of attraction to manifest their desired romantic relationships. These questions will give you clarity and awareness of your process and where you progressively stand in relation to the universal alchemical process. Your starting point could be one of defining your relationship clearly, or one where you have already manifested the relationship but are experiencing vague results from the relationship you already have. You may find that some of the questions may be repetitive. You will see that I sometimes answer differently based on the same question, or added a different perspective I thought they needed at that moment. The answers will give you the correct frames of mind if you feel their position currently resonates with yours. Question: what do you do when you feel like you miss deeply your special someone? When I feel like I miss him badly, I use affirmations and mental detachment exercises. But still, I feel a huge negative emotion and miss my special someone. Anna. I know this may be hard to hear, but this process is essential for you to manifest peace of mind while away from someone you think is special. People confuse being in love with loving the self through the other. When there's a long enough separation and you become insecure, fearful, and anxious, it is a sure sign that you are feeding off and filling a void you are supposed to take care of. It's better to come in full and complete into a relationship. Do not confuse this concept with perfection, since that idea does not exist. The best way to run off the negative feelings so they don't run your mind is always to imagine the worst case scenario until you no longer feel it or it doesn't feel as bad. Understand you will only be loved to the extent you have loved yourself. When separated, focus on journaling why you feel negative when away. Grab a pen and paper and write down all your feelings and the images or arguments that come to your head. Find the root cause. They always come down to some fearful expectation, like fear of loneliness, or what other people think if they see you alone. This process is not like a quick fix pill. Understanding the true nature of wholesome mutual relationships can take months or even years. Question: hi, I have practically manifested my special person and made a lot of progress, but I have one problem. I have intrusive thoughts that run my mental peace, and it's making me fearful. I fear that the more I focus on my desire, the more it will repel. I know it sounds dumb because it is, but I don't want it to repel my special person away because it is already here. So when I think about my special person, I'm afraid I'm repelling my special person away. It is so frustrating. Question by Mr. Nervous Wreck. I understand what you are going through. Sometimes when we declare our greatest love, our greatest fear has to be confronted. With pen and paper, write down and confront all of it. Write down in detail every image, word, sentence, and feeling. Write it all down in detail. Confront it all with focus. You may not like this step, but it's necessary to create peace of mind and your best possible relationship. Next, ask your mind to give you your worst case scenario. To provide you with an example, when I did this, I imagined my wife cheating on me with 10 different men at the same time. I ran the scenario in my mind over and over again until I felt that I didn't care and was actually glad. I did this even before I met her, and I knew that it would be to my advantage if such a scenario happened. I know this because then I would know someone better will come along, and that any karma in my energy systems from the experience was now burned because I would gladly welcome the experience. When you understand that you create everything that happens to you, including losing what you already have, you will know to take it all as a learning experience, since the universe is only showing you a non-resolved part of yourself. You will burn up the energy that creates it and create space to experience what you really want. When you have this awareness, then you will see magic happen. When you clearly define what you desire, you don't have to worry about qualifying yourself. That is the universe's job. I call this the alchemy of the universe. It is where the universe refines and trains you to qualify for what you desire. The universe will instantly calculate the process that will take for you to become the person now receiving what you have asked for. It then creates a route like Google Maps, the shortest distance from where you are to where you want to be. Your job is to follow the route. The ride may be bumpy or confusing. You may get lost, but the algorithm will always reroute you. It will anticipate traffic and weather. It will guide you through a series of stepping stones and milestones. You will learn lessons and burn up karma, energy stuck in your systems, resisting what you desire, which ironically is why you lack what you want. Its process relates to the energetic work you must do to close the gap between your current frequency indicators and the vibration you desire to hold. Question: I have been through a bad breakup. Now I have a difficulty trusting others, and I think it has messed up my ability to manifest a romantic partnership. How do I move forward and manifest a partner? Question by Mr. Trust Issues. I know this may be hard to understand, but there are no bad breakups. All experience can serve you, especially the ones you perceive as hurting you. Such experiences create a massive contrast and can help you launch a rocket of desire. Use the experience to define what you desire clearly. Be specific about the experiences and feelings you desire to experience. But you must come from a place of no neediness. Neediness is the fastest way to destroy a relationship and will guarantee being ghosted, dumped, or cheated on. A much better way to define your dream relationship will be in the following way. Being hyper-specific when it comes to relationships will often be counterproductive. It is better to be general when defining what you desire to experience in a relationship. You are not that smart and don't know what you don't know. The universe can read in an instant exactly the kind of person who will give the best experience. This is why it is better to define your desired relationship the following way. Say to the universe something like this: make it happen so I get a relationship that is loving, joyful, fun, kind, good, peaceful, remarkable, phenomenal, outstanding, mind-blowing, passionate, loyal, faithful, exciting, nurturing, clean, complimenting, etc. Sit down and think about what feelings you desire to experience in this relationship. Also, do you expect long-term commitment and marriage? Ask for that. Question: what techniques seem to be the most effective? There's journaling, gratefulness, affirmations, visualizing, etc. I know that some techniques' efficiency depends on the person, but what gives you the best results if kept consistently? Assuming you can only choose one or two techniques. And how do you know when to stop wishing for a certain goal? They say you need to detach from a goal even if it hasn't materialized yet. But how do you know it's that time? A question by Pan. The real answer is to become the best version of yourself. Ultimately, the universe will match you with a corresponding mate that complements your identity. Yes, you can hack the law of attraction to attract, create, or manifest the relationship of your dreams. But there is no quick fix pill, but a protocol. I call this the alchemy of the universe. It is where you begin to engage in a process with the universe where you are led into a series of stepping stones that refine you, and you meet a corresponding soulmate of your desires. It is a system that activates the universe's highest vision of yourself, and you ultimately experience the best things, people, and experiences for you. It is truly exhilarating. There's much to be said about this. It is easier to let go of specific goals in relationships when you know the universe can manifest something better than you can ever imagine. One of the signs that lets you know you must release your desire is when you have feelings of anxiety or desperation due to the feeling of a lack of what you desire. Question: I like this girl, so I was consistently trying to be in the state of wish fulfill, like what I would feel if I were in a relationship. It felt heavy. Still, it was working. I saw crazy moments. I heard my special person tell her friend about me, and her friend smiled at me whenever she saw me. Then I thought I should ask her out. Maybe this was blocked because I was rushing. On the day I asked her out, something was off. I saw her tell her friend something, and her friend looked at me with a weird face. But I still asked her, but she rejected me by saying she isn't looking for a relationship. This created a huge block within me, huge emotional baggage. I cried a lot that night, but still thought I would keep going. But whenever I tried to visualize her again, I would visualize her slapping me or hurting me in some other form. My mind was trying to protect me. I came across another technique and started doing it. Currently, I don't have emotional baggage. I can visualize her perfectly without fear. But the thing is, if I start again to stay in the state of wish fulfill, I can focus on other things properly. I have to be in that end state or I slip away into negativity. I know being in this state works, but I will end sabotaging my other aspects like studying. Tell me what I should do. A question by Mr. Overthinker. Your approach is counterproductive. You are too hyperspecific, and the law of attraction is not some magic wand to manipulate others into falling in love with you as if casting a spell. That is just not how it works. You are experiencing destructive dissonance, meaning her desires on the one vibration while yours is an opposing vibration. First, the job of the law of attraction is to resist anything dissimilar coming into contact. The universe, through this law, anticipates the contradicting energies and will make the parties pay the price for trying to break this natural law, sometimes even violently. The law is staunch in keeping vibration similar within a space. Anything different gets expelled or pushed away. This is why most people experience the law of attraction fighting them and resisting them from changing. The sooner you realize this to be true and use the law of attraction the way it is intended to be used, the sooner you will manifest the mind-blowing, loving, romantic relationship. Consider the following. Warning: do not do this the following way. Consider this to be the worst way to do this process. Mike likes famous actress Ana de Armas and Scarlett Johansson and wants to marry them by next week. He uses the law of attraction techniques for visualization and commands that it happens. He waits 1 week and sees that it doesn't happen. Mike is discouraged and has proven to himself that the law of attraction is absolute BS and that people have fallen for a scam. Mike feels much wiser now that he dodged that bullet. Yes, that was hyperbole, but it is a warning not to become too hyper-specific about your targets. Think about this. Person A wants to be with person B badly. They desperately use the law of attraction to manifest it. Person B has no interest in person A and desires person F. Person B is happy regardless of not being with person F. The law of attraction brings person G, who has been calculated to be similar to person F, to person B. The universe knows person M will be a better match for person A, but person A has now lowered their energy because person A thinks manifesting doesn't work. Person A is no longer a match for M. The universe is now waiting for person A to feel better about themselves. It is better to be general when defining what you desire to experience in a relationship. You are not that smart and don't know what you don't know. The universe can read in an instant exactly the kind of person who will give you the best experience. Question: is it okay to heal, get over someone, and feel all the bad feelings before manifesting? A question from Bud. Yes, it is essential to have some preparation before jumping in. It is like going to war. You must go through boot camp and rigorous training before entering the battlefield. Similarly, consider acquiring some wisdom and understanding. Consider developing the neural pathways of an individual who has already acquired what you desire. Question: my wife is perimenopausal and we are not getting along at all. Everything I say is taken as an attack. Anytime I wish to take time for myself, it is perceived as an escape from my responsibilities in the house. I am avoidant and I don't like to confront things. I let it all pass. She is anxious and wants things done to her level of detail. Otherwise, she cannot be at ease. The entire laundry list of issues from the past 18 years of marriage is coming out. She is fed up with pandering to my mom, dad, brother, and sister-in-law. She's fed up with my friends and their wives and sabotage any attempt at get-together. She only had 3 friends left. Everyone else has been canceled. She is overspending on travel 3-4 times a year since that's the only thing she looks forward to. Now she has $20,000 debt on credit cards, but won't talk to me about it. I saw her statement she left on the table. Now she's complaining nonstop to me about her manager and work colleagues and doesn't want to work anymore. It's becoming unbearable to be around her more than a few minutes without her getting triggered by something. She has always been like this, but it's way more amplified and used to be only 1 week of the month. But for the past few months, it's been nonstop. I'm afraid this will continue for the next few years and cause us to separate. How can I use the law of attraction to navigate this? Question from Jessier. My answers may not resonate with you and may sound counterintuitive, but if you give them strong consideration, I know you will benefit. Things can be easier if she has some awareness of the law of attraction and that you always reap what you sow. I went through something similar in my relationship. I came to a crossroads where her words created an extremely negative environment. It was a fork in the road where I had to exercise tremendous patience, and my goal was to make her extremely aware that her words were creating cognitive dissonance and destructive dissonance in our relationship. I did this by demanding the universe to make her absolutely hyper aware of how her words were creating her experience of me. The universe also forced me to become hyper aware of the words I may have unconsciously said about her, which created a negative experience. But first, I had to be 100% honest with myself, and I had to check and reframe all my words and beliefs about my experience of her and what I was creating. Meaning you are both co-creating and equally responsible for each other's experience of each other. For example, be cautious with your spoken and reactive interpretations of what's happening with your wife. First, remember it is you who creates your experience of your wife. You must inventory every definition you have attributed to her. Question: give me a step-by-step breakdown on how to manifest the woman I will marry. Question by Mr. Phoenix. This is the recipe or the breakdown of a step-by-step system to help you manifest the woman you will marry. Step number 1. Clearly define what you desire. You desire to marry a woman, which is a good start. Most people manifest vague relationships that bring uncertainty and frustration, specifically because they don't consider marriage. So you are doing well with desiring marriage. Step number 2. Clearly define the emotions you desire to experience. Peace, love, joy, excitement, exhilaration, goodness, loyalty, patience, kindness, nurturing. Step number 3. Clearly define the experiences that are most important to you. For example, I wanted someone who complemented my qualities. I wanted my strengths to complement her weaknesses, and vice versa. I also asked for her to be blonde, fit, and have blue eyes. I wanted to be physically attracted to her. I desired opulence in my relationship. Step number 4. I also asked that our purposes complement each other and that we will have a strong and meaningful relationship where we both grew together in spirit. Step number 5. Also, you need a system that supports the relationship. You must create a system that builds you up as a person, since it is you who is using your words to create in continuity. For example, I decided that she was the best wife ever, and to this day, I speak these words to her. My results? Every day, she proves to be the best wife ever. It's miraculous what a few simple words will create. Do not wait for evidence. Know that the words create the good anyway. Question: I can't make up my mind. Some days I decide I'm going to manifest him to love me and commit to me. We broke off because he just wanted to hook up. But other days I hate him for what he did to me and don't want to see him again ever. I also feel like I've already wasted so much energy on him. And if I try to manifest him now, I'm going to get obsessed again. And I'm just going to hurt more. I don't understand how people do this without losing themselves. A question from Janet. Your biggest challenge is found in not being clear about defining your desired experience. If you're having vague, frustrating experiences, it's because your definitions and intentions to the universe are vague. and therefore you create frustration. This is why it is better to define your desired relationship the following way. Say to the universe something like this, quote, make it happen so I get a relationship that is loving, joyful, fun, kind, good, peaceful, remarkable, phenomenal, outstanding, mind-blowing, passionate, loyal, faithful, exciting, nurturing, clean, complimentary, etc. Sit down and think about what feelings you desire to experience in this relationship. Also, do you expect long-term commitment and marriage? Ask for that. Also, all perceived negative experience can serve you. It is there to help you create contrast and understand what you don't want. You now know what you don't want since you are so frustrated and in pain. You can now, more than ever, clearly define what you truly desire. She went on to respond with the following statement. You're right, I do know what I don't want because of this experience, and now I take more care of my time, but I'm scared that when I let someone in again, it will repeat the same story. I know this is a working on yourself concept thing, but I don't know how to work on it. I answer, you are dealing with subconscious fears. There are so many that it takes work to filter them out. One of the best ways to run the negative and exhausted is by running your worst case scenario in your mind until it no longer feels as bad as you think it would. You fear vulnerability, so it is better to experience it in your mind first. I did something similar to begin with. I imagined myself being cheated on. I would imagine that she would do it with 10 others at the same time. Exaggerating, funny enough, expedited the process. I was able to come to a mental space where, if it were to happen, I would be glad and relieved. Why? Because my time and energy are more important. I would know I no longer have to worry about throwing good money away. Does that make sense? Vulnerability is void and irrelevant when you no longer fear the worst. If these processes don't work for you, you will have to learn to either sink or swim. Be vulnerable within the relationship and allow the karma to burn up by welcoming the worst case scenario. Pray that it happens so that you may fully confront it. What you resist persists, but what you confront tends to dissipate. This awareness is profound wisdom that's taken me a long time to learn. Integrate it, and you will live a magical experience.